Beautiful souls, do you have a prayer request or want us to send you healing energy today? Would you like us to be praying for you, a friend, or a loved one? If this is you, go to worldslargestprayernetwork.com to submit your prayer requests. And while you're there, please join our team of prayer warriors. Your angels say that prayer not only opens you to miracles, raises your vibration, and helps you heal, but the more you pray, the more God's presence is felt here on earth. Feel your angels' love right here, right now, as they surround you, and be on the lookout for positive, loving messages that are meant specifically for you in today's episode. Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome back to the Angels and Awakening podcast. I'm your host and author, Julie Jancius, and today we're here with Karen, who has some beautiful, incredible, amazing angel stories to share with you that I know are just going to touch your heart. Karen, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me. Glad to be here.
Of course. Good. So what I want you to do is take it away and share your first angel story.
Okay. Well, the one that really stands out to me from years ago, and I'll never forget, was my husband at the time had just graduated from college. You know, we were kind of struggling college students at the time, and things were it was a tough time in our lives, and he had just graduated looking for a job, and there wasn't one in our small little town in Florida that we lived in. So he ventured out and applied at some bigger cities and got a job in Tampa, Florida. And so we were so excited to go over there for interview day and really hoping that he would get this job. And it was his first one, in the x-ray field. He was an x-ray tech. And so we were on our way there, and it was about a 2.5-hour drive from where we lived. So we were on our way there, and in his old Buick, and we were in the middle of nowhere. It was just cow town, cows on every side. There weren't any houses. It was like an old country road, and just chugging along. And then the car just broke down and stopped. And like, you just see smoke coming out of the hood, and you're thinking, oh no, this is not good. And we're in the middle of nowhere. And we didn't have cell phones back then. This was like 20 years ago. And so we were like panicked. Oh my gosh, we have to get to this interview. So he gets out and he looks under the hood, and he's, looking around going, I don't know what's going on with it, but it doesn't look good. And I don't know what we're going to do. So the next thing we know, we see this old red truck coming up the road, and we're like, oh goodness, thank goodness, here's somebody coming. So the man stops, and he's like, oh, what you doing out here? Kids, what's going on with your car? And we're like, we don't know. We have no idea, but we're stuck, and we're we're on our way to an interview in Tampa, and we have an hour to go, and we're really, we don't know what we're going to do. So this old man, he looks under the hood, and he's like, oh, it looks like you blew a radiator hose or something. I think I happen to have one of those in the back of my truck. And I'm thinking, really? I mean, so he goes back in the back of his truck, and I follow him over, and he's got like a bunch of like car parts and tools and like radiator hoses and of all different sizes. He finds just the right one, and he puts it in the car, and like 25 minutes later starts it up, and we're on the road again. And the amazing thing was, he said, where are you headed? And we said, oh, he's got a job opportunity, a job interview in Tampa at St. Joseph's Hospital. And he's like, Sonny, that hospital saved my life years ago. You get on your way to your interview. But I just get chills thinking about it. And so we got back in the car and drove, and thankfully he was on time and he got the job, and it was like a life-changing situation. But I remember looking back in the car at that. I was like, where did that man come from out of the middle of nowhere? And I just never, I looked back and didn't even see the truck. It was gone. I was like, I thought that had to be an angel. I don't know how that happened in the middle of nowhere.
That's incredible. That's incredible. And you know what? I think it's something if you read a book on angel stories and you like hear a couple of them, we've been recording angel stories, hundreds of them on this podcast and hearing thousands of angel stories that have come in over the years through the email and the website. There, there's no doubt, and there should be no doubt in anybody's mind that divinity angels are always here present with us and it happens all the time. So I'm just so excited that you have this angel story to share. I know that you and I have been in contact for a long time. We've been working together for a long time, Karen. Talk to people because you have a unique perspective of having lost a kiddo. And I wonder if you'd be willing to kind of share your story and kind of help bring some inspiration to other moms and dads who've unfortunately experienced this as well.
Yes. I lost my daughter a few years ago. I guess it's been 2 years now, and she was 19, and it was cancer, and it was just very sudden. And then, when they found it, and then she went through many treatments and chemo, and in 6 months, she was gone. And it's been the hardest thing in my life to deal with. She was, my best friend. I was so close to her. And she told me before she passed, she said, I will send you signs from heaven. She said, I'll send you rainbows and butterflies. I'll be there with you. And she was very spiritual too. And I know that my faith in God and heaven is the only thing that's held me through it, because it's, of course, really devastating to lose a child. That's the worst possible thing. But so many times, instead of focusing on the grief, I have just focused on, I know I'm going to see her again. And I feel her all around me all the time. On her birthday, she sent me a beautiful rainbow from the fountain out in front of our place where we live. We have fountains, and we were riding bikes. And I've never seen a rainbow coming from a fountain, but it was beautiful. And I have a picture of it. And I was like, wow, on her birthday, that's so sweet. And she sent me a lot of signs walking along the beach, like shells in the shape of angel wings. I'll just look down and see like two little shells that were it was like a little shell that's open, and it looks just like angel wings. And I'll just say, I know that's you, Kelsey. You're walking right beside me, so.
Yeah, you texted me that one day, the shell, and I go, Karen, you will not believe this. I had been working the last couple of days on like a workshop that I was doing for the angel membership. And I had this angel wing shaped like shell on the front of the
Yeah,
PowerPoint. And I was like, there, I have never even talked about that as a sign. And then you sent it.
I know. And so many things, she has just made her presence known so many times, and like, nothing I've ever seen before. And my mom's passed too. And I know that, she's around me, but my daughter just constantly sends me signs for comfort. I know that she does. And, one time, just a lot of like really miraculous things have happened. And I know a lot of people think red cardinals are someone visiting from heaven. I've heard that. And I never usually see them, but one day when my son and I and his dad were in kind of a family meeting conversation, we had something big to discuss, and we were at my house, and all of a sudden this red cardinal just flew right into the window and hovered there and looked in at us. And I thought, she's joining the family meeting. I mean, I've never seen that happen. It's amazing. Yeah. The signs that they send.
It is. It brings us so much hope and validation that we're on the right track. You've done a lot to learn how to feel her presence even more, open up to feeling her presence, understanding how to communicate with her more. There's a lot of moms, though, out there and dads who get frustrated with this process, right? Because it takes time to learn and open up in order to be able to make that connection. Talk about your experience with that for a while and And what's served you best, or what are the tips or tricks or tools that you've relied on?
I think I had to get through, the first year was probably the hardest. And I was just had that heaviness and grief. And I had to try to do some healing to get past that. And once I got past that, I just started getting more signs from her and feeling more comfort. And I know the oneness meditation helps. When I do the oneness meditation, I feel peace, and sometimes messages will come through then. And I have a hard time meditating. I mean, I've tried for years to meditate, but I think that helps. And just prayer, I think prayer helps a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. That's awesome. So because the angels keep going deeper into this for me, and I think it's because you've got information here that other people need to hear from you specifically. When it comes to you just knowing and trusting, yes, this is her coming through from the other side, how did you trust that? Was it just automatic for you? Were you resistant at first?
Usually will pop into my mind because it's at a very specific time. Like, she had told me about butterflies, and I love butterflies, but I don't see them often. I mean, they're just in North Carolina. I'm in South Carolina now, but in North Carolina, I haven't seen one in, years. And then after she passed, I was, it had slowed down. I was a real estate agent, and I just kind of was having a hard time just getting back to my normal routine after she passed. And I was out showing a home to a really lovely couple. And I saw this beautiful monarch butterfly that was huge out on the back deck when I was showing this home, and it was just sitting there. And I thought, wow, I haven't seen one. And I knew it was her. And I knew, she said, "Don't worry, Mom, I'm with you every day." And they ended up buying the house, and it was a great little sign. And so it's usually at specific times that I see these things, and I just know they're from her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when you see it, I want to make this connection for everybody listening. And it doesn't matter who your loved one is on the other side. Everybody can do this. When you see that sign and you have an openness within your heart space, within your energy, within your mind to go, yes, that's them. What happens is it opens something. It's almost like you chose in that moment to say, yes, this is them. They're right here with me. And because you said yes of your free will to that, what happens is that then you feel this rush of their energy, their presence, their warmth, their love surrounding you. And what I try and do with people is kind of get you to the next level after that too, which is then you can spend time with them, bringing through and talking to them about the messages that they have and like why they're showing up in that moment right then and there.
Awesome. That's awesome. I remember specifically a time too in the beginning, the first year where I was telling my son, and I was having a difficult night, and I was like, I just want a hug from her. I just would love to feel a hug. And I went to bed, and I woke up the next morning with this feeling of just like love and a hug surrounding me, that I knew it was her. I knew that she, I just know that she hears and sees what's going on, and she wanted to comfort me,
Yeah.
So.
Friend, if the idea of connecting to your angels and changing your life using your very own spiritual gifts sounds amazing and is deeply resonating with you today, I want you to go on my website and check out my angel membership. Registration is open. Sign up today and you'll get access to new course content and events each week and a private community. Members love how everything you need for your spiritual awakening is all in one place. Sign up today, Angel Membership. It's incredibly healing. Also, the winner of this month's free reading with me is in the show notes below. Leave a 5-star positive review of my podcast or book, and you could be next month's winner. Lastly, check out the upcoming events page on my website, theangelmedium.com, because we have a lot of upcoming events that I know you're going to be interested in.
It's, it definitely brings me a lot of comfort, and, some days I'll just say to her, you know what, I really need a sign from you. Let me know you're around me today, and usually she will do something. There'll be a rainbow or something on the way to work, that I'll see that will remind me of her. And so maybe sometimes I'll see someone that looks exactly like her. Yeah. And that's amazing. That's amazing to me. Yeah.
Doppelganger.
Yeah, I never even knew that it was a word, but
yes. So some people might not realize this, but they come in. That is one of the signs that they use, is showing up as a doppelganger to kind of get your attention, because almost always, if you look back at that person, the initial time you see them, you see the exact face of your loved one as if they're like right in front of you. And then you look back and you see their face a little differently, and you realize, oh, okay, it really wasn't them, but it looked to a T. And that is a sign and symbol that they come through with in order to really help you feel, again, that presence and make that connection with them.
My dad does that a lot. Like I will see a few times a year. And my dad was a very unique looking man. He was not very tall, and he had this beautiful like silver hair that was really thick on top and wavy. And so I'll be in Lowe's, shopping, or Home Depot, and all of a sudden turn a corner and there's a man with a little dog that was just like his little dog that he used to have, a little Maltese, in the cart. And I'll be like, oh my goodness, that looks so much like my dad. And I'll just feel, I know he's with me and around me that day. And I love when that happens.
Yes, yes. The big angel message that I really feel coming through today is trust the signs that you get. And one of the stories that I haven't told over here, but it keeps coming to mind ever since you said monarch butterfly. My aunt's father passed away, and he was kind of like a pseudo grandpa. We called him Grandpa Ed. And when he passed, they kept seeing these beautiful monarch butterflies in the backyard all over. And my aunt kept saying, do you think that's him? That's got to be him, right? Do you think that's him? Kind of like going back wishy-washy of like self-doubt, right? Is this really dad coming through? And they had not gone, they had arranged the funeral, but they had not gone into this place on the grounds of where like the grave would be, where they were going to have the funeral inside, or like this piece where they were going to say a prayer. I forget the exact details surrounding it, but I just know we go into this place, and I've never seen anything like it before. In huge stained glass at the top is this circle window with a stained glass picture of a large monarch butterfly. Yeah. And I go, Treese, this is it. This, like, he's here. He's been here the entire time. You just have to believe.
Yeah. Yeah, they do send us signs. And now that I think of it, the monarch butterflies. So I was in North Carolina, and I was really wanting to move to Charleston, South Carolina, but I was afraid to make the big move. And my son, who's 17, didn't really want to leave North Carolina, but I finally said, this new year, I'm going to do it. It's what I feel like I really need to do. And every time I would come to Charleston, which was a lot, once a month, I would always see the orange monarch butterflies here. Like they would always just, I'd be sitting and one would just plop right by a tree or on a lawn chair or whatever. And I was like, I keep seeing, even in some of the pictures I have of my friend's wedding, there's like a monarch butterfly like hovering like in the background. And I thought, oh my gosh, I know that's Kelsey. She said she was going to send me butterflies, my daughter. And she's saying, yes, move to Charleston. And then I had a reading with you, and you told me she's trying to tell you to move to Charleston. She's sending me signs, So, so many amazing things will like lead you in the right direction if you have the faith, you know?
Yes,
Yeah.
110%.
Yeah.
Wow. Karen, one more thing that we got to talk about because this has been coming through the entire time. Your son is kind of questioning what he's going to be doing, trying to get started and trying to figure out a lot right now. And she is right next to him, your daughter, helping him every step of the way. So is your mom. Um, it's so funny because they kind of like go back and forth on this a little bit. He's hard on himself a
Yeah.
lot.
Mhm.
And they said, he really needs to know and have this vision of he's got it all together, right? He needs to see himself and visualize himself in his 30s and his 40s having reached everything that he wanted to himself. And then get to work, right? Because they said it's one thing to hold the vision, but then you have to take the action. And they're really encouraging him on both ends. But is he in school right now?
He just graduated high school and he's looking to, go into something in computer field, and he wants to take some online classes. And I think he's going to move here to Charleston with me. So in the next few months, he wants to, and I'm really excited about that. So I'm going to really try to get him on the right road. He doesn't have the self-confidence that he needs, like you said. And he's so smart. And I tell him all the time, you can do it. You can do anything you want. And I see you as a successful person. So I'm really going to try to work on that with him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The him moving in with you piece is 100%.
Yay. Yes.
You can
I'm
feel
so excited.
energies as a reader, and you can feel when something's like 50-50, you can feel when it's 60-40, and you can feel when it's 100%. He's decided already. That's what that means.
I'm so excited about that. I can't wait. I'm looking right now for a house here. I'm in a 1-bedroom apartment, and I'm looking for a house, and my lease is going to be ending in a few months, and it's all going to come together, and he's going to move here. So I'm very excited.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah.
As you help him build that self-confidence, I want you to also steer him in the direction of there's things that we want because society tells us, okay, we need to have X, Y, and Z. And then there's really what he really wants to do. And where this is going to come into play for him is, I do see him going into computers, but there are choices that we make. And so does he go into the piece that really like he thinks is the right way to go? Or is there something that really calls to him within his heart that he needs to listen to that heart piece? He needs to listen to that intuitive piece within himself.
I'll tell him that's great. That's great advice, because I know he does feel like he wants to make his dad happy and me happy in what he does, and he wants to be successful, but he's got to follow his heart. And if there's another field or another occupation out there that he'll be happier, and that's really all that matters,
Or just a piece within the computing where he's like, no, I think I could really do this. Like, and this is fun. It has to light him up inside. It has to make him feel joy-filled, passionate, excited. And that's him following his heart.
That's awesome. I'm so happy to hear his sister's by his side. I know she is, because he's had a really rough time with her passing. And so I tell him all the time, I know she's right by your side, helping you along. So
yeah,
that's awesome. I can't wait to tell him that.
Oh, good. Karen, I always love talking to you. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day to be on the show.
Thank you so much, Julie. I love your show. I love listening to your podcast every day.
Yay!
Thank you.
Thank you, friends. If you have an angel story to share, please submit it. Also, I am back doing my sessions. I worked with a vocal coach on my vocal injury, got my eating right, and I am back doing my sessions. So we send out an email for my sessions once a month. If you're on our email list, you will receive that. It's got a link for you to book your session. Sometimes they sell out within 10 minutes. minutes. Sometimes it's 24 hours, but I would love to get the opportunity to work with you. Doing readings is just what I love, love, love to do. It brings me so much joy. So thank you for giving me that opportunity of being able to do that for you. You can find out more over on theangelmedium.com. And never, I will never DM you or PM you over on social media. There's so many scammers over there right now. That's never me. I don't reach out to people that way. If you give us your email, that's the only way that I reach out to you. Thanks, friends. Have a blessed, blessed day. Beautiful soul, thank you so much for joining me today. My name's Julie. You know I'm all about connecting you with messages from your angels and loved ones on the other side. If you've been listening today and you're super excited and just have to know which angels are sitting around you now, who's connecting with you, and how they're supporting you, go to theangelmedium.com. Register for a virtual session. You can do a reading with me or a member on my team. We're all incredible. We all talk to angels daily, and we can help you in making sure that your angels are doing the best they can to support you and guiding you to the life you want to live. Virtual sessions, they're only offered on my website, never offered on social media, only offered on theangelmedium.com. Sign up today. And if you're the person who's really excited, you're ready to go all in developing your unique spiritual gifts, growing your intuition, starting your own healing business, you can sign up for my Angel Reiki School to become a certified angel messenger. That's for the healers among us who feel called to grow their intuition to the max and serve humanity with their gifts. You'll learn energy healing, mediumship, how to deliver angel messages, and business mastery skills. That's the Angel Reiki School. You can find more information on theangelmedium.com or DM me over on Instagram at Angel Podcast with any questions you have. Friends, before you go, connect with your angels by placing your hand on your heart, taking a deep breath. Imagine a doorway filled with God's unconditional love in front of you. I want you to step into that love in front of you. And I want you to feel it as it fills your body, your chakras, and your auric field. Now ask your angels, what would you have me know today? And open yourself to the positive, loving messages they have just for you.